Hi there, I'm Danny Marks from Shop Marketing Pros. You know me as your customer success manager.
And I am Haley Wassier. I am the advertising director here at Shop Marketing Pros. So, the good thing about a lot of these tools we're going to talk about is that they're free. So, you can totally implement them yourself, and we'll give you a helpful resource guide on exactly which tools we use to track our clients' online marketing here at Shop Marketing Pros.
And some of the tools that we generally use are Google Analytics, Google Ad tracking and conversions, the Meta Pixel, which used to be known as the Facebook Pixel, things like landing pages, and of course, tracking numbers. So Google Analytics, you've probably heard about this tool. It's a great tool. It is free, and it's meant to measure behavior on your website. So things like how many visits you've gotten to your website, and also what people are doing on your website.
So, in addition to Google Analytics, we also set up tracking through Google Ads Manager and also Facebook Ads Manager. So, to start, the things that we track in Google Ads are web form fills and phone calls. In the Facebook Events Manager, we also set up the Meta Pixel using the Event Setup tool. We track things on landing pages and websites like make an appointment buttons and also phone numbers. Super important to have the Meta Pixel installed on your website, not only to track the performance of your Facebook ads, but it's also a really helpful tool in audience building within your Facebook Ads Manager. Another thing we like to include in our digital advertising are tracking numbers. So you might have set up a Google phone call extension before. What we like to do for our Google phone call extensions is use a tracking number. There are certain places to use a tracking number and to not use a tracking number, though. For example, it's totally okay to use a tracking number within your Google phone call extension and on your landing page, but somewhere that you do not want to use a tracking number is on your Google My Business page. A question that we get a lot is whether or not you want to use a tracking number on your website. And the answer is yes and no. So you actually don't want to use a static number on your website. You want to use what is called DNI, or dynamic number insertion. This means that a tracking number will show on your website only when a click comes from a paid ad, such as on Google or Facebook.
And the whole point of using tracking numbers and all of these other tracking codes is to prove that your digital ads are working and producing leads. We believe in quality most of all. So the things that we track as a conversion are phone calls to your business and web form fills.
Another benefit of having the tracking numbers, besides just proving that your digital advertising on Google and Facebook is working for you, is that we use it to listen to your phone calls. So the benefit of this is that we get super helpful information on exactly what kind of keywords your customers are calling about. And then we use that information to better target specifically your Google ads. Another form of tracking that we use are URL builders, or you might have also heard them called UTM builders. UTM stands for the Urchin Tracking Module. So basically what this does is it makes any link in your Google or Facebook ad trackable. Basically, you want to use a UTM link anywhere that you use a link in your Facebook or Google ad. That way, again, it makes any link in your ad trackable.
So now let's touch on landing pages. You may already have a full website, and sometimes we drive Google ads and Facebook ads directly to your website. It just depends on how prominent the call to actions are on the website and if it integrates with the tracking codes that we use for digital ads. The other strategy is to set up a landing page. And a landing page is a page that is essentially hidden that people will only land on if they click on a Google or a Facebook ad. These pages are completely optimized with call to actions, meaning we want people to make the phone call to your business or fill out an online appointment request. Additionally, we install all kinds of tracking codes on these pages to show metrics in your marketing reports. The key to following up with any web form fill, AKA appointment, online appointment request, is speed of responsiveness. Everybody knows that in the world today, people expect a pretty speedy response. So the sooner you can call them back or email them back, the better.
So, a few important things to note when it comes to tracking your online marketing is if you are setting up a Google phone call extension with a tracking number, you also want to make sure that your landing page also has this same tracking number on it. And what this does is lessens the amount of times that Google Ads will disapprove your phone call extension. So, in an effort to avoid that happening, it is a best practice to make sure your phone call extension and the number on your landing page match.
Another pro tip is we talk a lot about tracking codes, and Haley and I often joke that creating the ad is the absolute easiest part of the whole process. What really takes a lot of time is setting up the tracking codes in order to measure the important metrics that we track. And it takes a professional to know where to place them and also how to use them and how to read them. So if you have digital ads running and you don't know if you have tracking set up, just ask your digital ad manager. They should be very transparent in what they're tracking as conversions, what kind of tools they have in place for tracking things like Google Ads and Facebook ads. And at the bottom of this blog, we will include a download where you can download those questions called What to Ask Your Digital Ad Manager Regarding Tracking.
Another important note is that tracking isn't just a one-time thing that you set up and forget about. Tracking codes break, Google Ads updates, Facebook updates all the time. There's always a new Facebook interface or update coming out. So it's important to check back on your tracking codes at least once every 6 months to be sure that they're not broken and your conversions are still being tracked to prove that your ads are still working. So don't just set it and forget about it. So to conclude, we hope that we taught you just a little bit more about tracking your online marketing. And if you have any questions when it comes to digital tracking, please feel free to reach out to us.